Hello all and welcome to Actually Cracked, a series where I'm just gonna be opening booster sets of card games because I like card games and boosters, and cracking packs is fun. So we have a Bloomburrow play booster here, and I'm gonna open it, and you're all gonna see what's inside it. Yeah. It's always interesting to see how different people open boosters. I, for instance, open them badly. But funly. So, our first card here should be... Ooh, cool rabbit token. I like it. I think we have a land at the front as well. No, that's a foil. We'll get to the foil later. The other side is a QR code. So, do that if you want to discover the coolest cards. I'm just gonna get rid of that. Token over here. Yeah, that works. And let's start looking at some cards. We have a Light Shell Duo as our first actual Magic the Gathering card. 3 and a blue for a 3/4 Rat Otter with Prowess. So whenever you cast a non-creature spell, it gets +1/+1 until end of turn. And when it enters, you surveil 2, which is looking at the top 2 cards of your library, putting any number of them into your graveyard and the rest back on top of your library in any order. Yeah, 4 mana 3/4 Prowess is pretty good. And card selection, also pretty good. This card's pretty good. Let's move on to the next card. Intrepid Rabbit. 2 and a white for a 3/2 Rabbit Soldier with Offspring 1. Offspring being paying the additional cost as you cast it, not when it enters, as you cast it. Then, if you did pay the cost, when it enters, you make a 1/1 token that is a copy of this creature. And when this creature enters, target creature you control gets +1/+1 until end of turn. So for 3 mana, you get a 3/2 and pump something else for 1. Or for 4 mana, you get a 3/2 and a 1/1, and you pump some number of creatures for a total of +2/+2. Not bad. We did a draft of this, local friend group, and yeah, this card was pretty good. I quite enjoyed it. Rabbits. Good rabbits. Anyway, moving on. Starlit Soothsayer. 2 and a black for a 2/2 Bat Cleric with flying. And at the beginning of your end step, if you gained or lost life this turn, you surveil 1. That seems easy to achieve. That seems like pretty good card selection. I think I want this card in my Orzhov deck. Like Orzhov Commander deck with actual Orzhov. Yep, that seems good. I like that. Also, it's a 2/2 flyer. That's, yeah, big fan. Next card. Hidden Grotto. It is a land. When it enters, you surveil 1. You've been over surveil already. Tap to add a colorless. Pay 1, tap, add 1 mana of any color. Well, it enters untapped, which is nice. It gives you selection, which is nice. It taps for colorless, which is less nice. It filters, which is fine. I don't think I'm replacing any cards for this. Unless I've already got something that filters but is bad. Yeah, this is fine. Let's move on. Roughshod Duo. Is that 2 duos? We got the Duo. 2 and a red for a 3/2 Mouse Raccoon with Trample. And whenever you expend 4, target creature you control gets +1/+1 and gains Trample until end of turn. Expending 4 means spending your 4th total mana only for casting spells. Activating abilities doesn't count. Paying additional costs for casting spell is still paying costs for casting spells, so that works. I don't think this works nicely with Convoke, because that would be tapping creatures, not paying mana. I would need to look up how Convoke works. Hey, if I'm wrong, put the actual ruling for Convoke here. Thanks. Next card. Sticky Tongue Sentinel. Gross. 2 and a green for a 3/3 Frog Warrior with Reach. And when it enters, return up to 1 other target permanent you control to its owner's hand. So, Frog deck likes to bounce things. This frog bounces things. This frog's probably good in the frog deck. Also has Reach, so that probably stops some bats. Yeah, there seem to be a lot of smaller flying creatures, so this thing eats them up real good. victory doesn't have to be close for him to taste it. Gross. Moving on. We have a Pond Prophet. Oh wow. Those cards, best friends. Pond Prophet. 2 Simic Hybrid mana for a 1/1 Frog Advisor, and when it enters, draw a card. So, turn 2, you play Pond Prophet. Turn 3, you play Sticky Tongue Sentinel, you bounce the Pond Prophet. Turn 4, you play the Pond Prophet. And a second Pond Prophet, because you've probably drawn a second Pond Prophet by now, because you're the frog deck, and you like frogs. So you play frogs. Frogs. Next card is a frog. It's a rat, but it's blue. It's 1 and a blue. It's Shoreline Looter. 1 and a blue for a 1/1 rat rogue that can't be blocked. And whenever it deals combat damage to a player, draw a card. Then discard a card unless 7 or more cards are in your graveyard. So it's a looter that eventually is just... what's the actual card called? Nope, it's escaped my brain. But the original 1 and a blue 1/1 that draws a card when it hits people. Yeah, that's it also fuels its own threshold, which is nice. Yeah. Also, unblockable draw card. Not bad. Not bad at all. Holds counters real good. Next card, we have a Playful Shove. 1 and a red sorcery, deal 1 damage to any target, draw a card. I feel like this is just a cantrip that occasionally kills something. This reads 1 and a red, draw a card. And if the other line of text does something, you're ecstatic. Alright. The boisterous pat on the back was painful, but not nearly as painful as the joke that inspired it. Okay, so what's happening here is emotional damage from a real bad pun. You know what? I'm on board with this card now. Put it in every deck. Next card. Ooh, we're still on uncommons. We have Oak Hollow Village, which taps for a colorless. A lot of lands that tap in for colorless in this pack. Wonder if we've got any more. Tap to add green, but only for creatures. Okay, so fixing for creatures. And green and tap. Put a possum counter on each frog, rabbit, raccoon, or squirrel you control that entered the battlefield this turn. So... what was the other land that does that, but for any green creature? Oranreef the Vastwood, I think? That's only green creatures, but it's all green creatures. Whereas this is only frog, rabbit, raccoon, or squirrel, but those creatures can be any color. Interesting. I mean, if you're in one of those tribal decks, you're probably running both. So yeah, do that, I guess. Next card. We have Dewdrop Cure, 2 and a white, for a sorcery that reads Gift a card. You may promise an opponent a gift as you cast the spell. If you do, they draw a card before its other effects. Well, we should probably see what the other effects are. Return up to 2 target creature cards, each with mana value 2 or less, from your graveyard to the battlefield. If the gift was promised, instead return up to 3 target creature cards, each with mana value 2 or less, from graveyard to the battlefield. Okay. So... Tiny Mass Reanimate. Yeah? Tiny Mass Reanimate. I can definitely see that being useful in like a... Ooh, I would definitely actually run this in Aristocrats. Because you get a bunch of cheap creatures that make another creature when they enter, and you want to sack them anyway, so they're already in your graveyard. Maybe you want to gift the card, maybe you don't. I guess it depends on whether you're killing the person you're gifting the card to that turn. I feel like generally, unless you're getting a lot of value out of your 2 mana creature, you're probably not wanting to gift the card. Still good. Big fan of this card. Yeah, quite like it, quite like it. Because yeah, you're gifting the card for the worst of the 3 mana value 2 creatures. So either it's saving you by gifting the card, or it's like politics if it's a multiplayer game. So yeah, I don't hate it. I don't hate it. How many we got? We've got 3 left. So let's do the foil first, I guess. Foil first, maybe second to last uncommon, or it could be rare. Yeah, let's do the foil. Our foil is Splash Lasher, a Frizzard Frog Wizard. 3/3 for 3 and a blue. It's got Offspring for 1 and a blue. And when this creature enters, tap up to 1 target creature and put a stun counter on it. So it's a Frog Frost Wizard. That's kind of cool. More frogs. Apparently I'm building a frog deck. Alright. Last uncommon / first rare. First rare. Fecund green shell. Is it fecund or fecund?
Fecund.
I think it's fecund. Fecund green shell. 3 green for a 4/6 elemental turtle with reach. As long as you control 10 or more lands, creatures you control get +2/+2. Oh, hello. Whenever it or another creature you control with toughness greater than its power enters, look at the top card of your library. If it's a land card, you may put it onto the battlefield tapped, otherwise put it into your hand. Well, you're going straight into my elemental deck. It's just all creatures get +2. Dang. Alright. You know what? I like the cut of your shell. Pretty good turtle. Good stuff. Good stuff. Alright, well, let's see if our final card can match up to the Fecund green shell. It's an island. Did I just forget that I had an island there? Oh, I forgot that I hadn't done the land. Okay. Right, foil, then land, then rare. I see. Well, lessons for next time. But dang. Frogland. That's pretty cool. I like that. Yeah, Fecund green shell. Don't hate this guy. Let's see. Turtle. Turtle is not one of the card types on this, right? No, dang. Oh well. But Yavimaya. Not Yavimaya. Lauren Reef. That's the one. Go for the Lauren Reef. Yeah, it's going straight in my elementals deck. Is there a draft pick I would want from this? Yeah, it's probably the green shell. This guy. It's pretty good. Pretty good. I'll put the price of these cards somewhere along here. I haven't thought about how I want to do that for future openings, but yeah, this was pretty cool. Hope you guys enjoyed this. I'll try and do more of these, but well, we'll see. I've at least got one more pack, so I'm going to give that a shot, but good times. Bye.
Fecund.